Over 1 million people hit the streets of Hong Kong on Sunday to protest a proposed Chinese extradition law. That figure, an estimate of organizers, represents about 1/7 of the city's population of 7.5 million. The protests began in the afternoon with a 3-kilometer march to Hong Kong's Legislative Council building. The crowd didn't disperse until the early hours of Monday morning. At stake was a bill that would allow authorities to extradite suspects from Hong Kong to China. Hong Kong officials say they would have the final say over who gets extradited. Critics say the law opens the door for Chinese authorities to poach political and business adversaries. They say that it would essentially cancel Hong Kong's semi-autonomous status. Also, the law would not only apply to Hong Kong residents, anyone who passes through Hong Kong would be subject to extradition to China without the guarantee of a fair trial. Protesters say the law is not in the interest of the city's people. They say that local leaders are merely following the wishes of Beijing.
More importantly, Hong Kong government and the Chinese government are not on an equal footing. So if Chinese government make a promise to Hong Kong and say, oh, we would not extradite political dissidents, we would ensure fair trial, and if the Hong Kong government extradite its people, its citizens, back to China, and China breach its promise, there's nothing Hong Kong government can do. So there is no way that Hong Kong citizens should trust the Chinese government and the Hong Kong government.
It's not just Hong Kong residents that are worried. Members of the expat business community are also concerned about the extradition law.
Well, we obviously remember all the things happening in Beijing with the 2 Canadians that were sort of picked up in response to the CFO of Huawei being arrested. People are really, people like myself, expats, are really cautious about this type of thing, thinking that China could actually come and impose those type of tit-for-tat kind of arrests without warrant, really. So people are really worried about that.
Later on Sunday night, the protest turned violent with police in riot gear brandishing batons and using pepper spray to break up the crowd. According to the Hong Kong police, 3 officers were injured during the conflicts. At least 7 people were arrested during the demonstration. Leslie Liao, RTI News.